Thomas in charge. It was a beautiful morning on the island of Sogo. All the engines were busy. Thomas was pleased. He was puffing to Brendam docks to shunt coal cars. Thomas chuffed cheerfully into the docks. Gordon was waiting with the express.
Good morning, Gordon.
Good morning, Thomas.
I'm going to shunt these coal cars faster than fast.
Gordon was happy he didn't have to shunt coal cars.
I'm waiting for Sir Topham Hatt.
Just then, Sir Topham Hatt arrived.
Today is an important day. I am to meet the railroad inspector at Knapford Station. Then I will take him on a tour of the island. Our tour will end here at the docks.
Thomas's boiler bubbled. The railroad inspector was a very important visitor.
Thomas, I want you to be busy shunting cars when the inspector visits. Busy engines will please him most of all.
Thomas's firebox fizzed with excitement.
Bubbling boilers. I must make sure I shunt busier than ever.
Thomas puffed over to the cars.
Shunting cars, I do the best. I biff and bash and never rest.
Suddenly, Thomas stopped. An idea flew into his funnel.
Sir Topham Hatt said, busy engines will please the railroad inspector most of all. I must find more engines to shunt cars. Then the railroad inspector will be really pleased and Sir Topham Hatt will be really proud.
So Thomas left the coal cars and he huffed happily out of the docks. Thomas puffed into Marin Station. Percy was there. He was waiting for his mail cars to be loaded.
Good morning, Percy. I have some important news. The railroad inspector is coming to Brendam Docks. Sir Topham Hatt said it will make the inspector very pleased to see busy engines shunting there. Will you come?
Percy was worried.
I can't, Thomas. I have to deliver the mail. But shunting cars will please the inspector most of all and make Sir Topham Hatt proud.
Percy wheeshed and whooshed.
All right, Thomas. I'll come with you.
So Percy was uncoupled from his mail cars, and he puffed away with Thomas, just as the railroad inspector arrived with Sir Topham Hatt. They had come to see Percy busy with his mail cars, but the station was very quiet, and Percy was nowhere to be seen. Thomas and Percy didn't know this. They huffed happily into the quarry. Then they saw Mavis.
Hello, Mavis.
Hello, Thomas. Hello, Percy. You look busy.
Suddenly, another idea flew into Thomas's funnel.
I can ask Mavis to come and help us shunt at the docks. I'm sure she'd like to do that. Puff on, Percy. I'll ask Mavis.
So Percy steamed on to the docks, and Thomas clattered back into the quarry and up to Mavis.
Mavis, I have some very important news. The railroad inspector is coming to Brendam Docks. Sir Topham Hatt said it will make the inspector very pleased to see busy engines shunting there. Will you come?
Mavis wasn't sure.
I don't think I can, Thomas. I have a lot to do here.
Shunting cars will please the inspector most of all, and make Sir Topham Hatt proud.
Mavis wanted to make Sir Topham Hatt proud.
All right, Thomas. I'll come with you.
So Mavis left her slate cars and clattered away with Thomas, just as Sir Topham Hatt and the railroad inspector arrived. They had come to see Mavis busy at work in the quarry. But the quarry wasn't busy. It was very, very quiet. The railroad inspector sighed, and Sir Topham Hatt couldn't believe his eyes. Thomas puffed back to the docks. Percy and Mavis were there. They had shunted a long line of cars. Thomas was pleased. Then he heard Gordon.
Gordon is bringing Sir Topham Hatt and the railroad inspector. Quick, Percy! Hurry, Mavis! We must be as busy as bees. The railroad inspector must be pleased, and Sir Topham Hatt must be proud.
Then there was trouble. Percy shoved, Mavis shunted, and Thomas shouted.
1, 2, 3, push!
The coal cars bashed and biffed together. They juddered and jumped. Coal dust scattered and splattered everywhere. It covered the railroad inspector and Sir Topham Hatt. Then it flew down Gordon's funnel. Gordon spluttered and stuttered.
Oh, the indignity.
Sir Topham Hatt was cross.
Thomas, what have you done?
Thomas felt terrible.
The railroad inspector isn't pleased. Sir Topham Hatt isn't proud. Gordon can't whoosh at all. And it's all my fault.
Thomas knew he had to chuff and puff to put things right.
Sir, I will shunt Gordon to the steamworks. Victor will make sure his funnel is free and his firebox fizzes. Then, Gordon can take you on the tour of Sodor, and I can be really useful.
Sir Topham Hatt was happy to hear this.
Very well, Thomas.
So Thomas heaved and hauled his hardest and shunted Gordon glumly away from the docks. At the steamworks, Victor was happy to welcome Gordon and Thomas.
Well, Thomas, my friend, what have we here?
Gordon grumped and groaned.
Gordon's funnel is blocked with coal dust. He needs a clear funnel and a fizzing firebox.
Then he has come to the right place. Gordon, please stop looking so unhappy. It's only your funnel we must fix, not your pistons that won't pump.
Soon, Gordon's funnel was fixed. His firebox was firing, and he was ready and raring to take Sir Topham Hatt and the railroad inspector on a tour of the island, and of all the really useful and very busy engines on Sodor. Thomas steamed swiftly back to the docks. He knew he had a lot of work to do. At the docks, Thomas started to shunt and shove. He huffed his hardest.
Shunting cars, I do the best. I biff and bash and never rest.
And he didn't see Sir Topham Hatt and the railroad inspector arrive. They watched Thomas.
Thomas, you are a really useful engine. I am very proud of you.
And I am very pleased to see such a busy engine. I wasn't sure, but now I know. Busy engine. I wasn't sure, but now I know. Sir Topham Hatt's railroad is the best.
Thomas beamed and gleamed. Sir Topham Hatt smiled and smiled with pride.
Silly me, I was so wrong. I can shunt the whole day long. Never stop and never rest. A busy engine is the best.